Hello, everybody, and welcome back to an episode of Focus on Tomorrow. I'm your host, Ura Caballera, and with me is...
Ana Soto?
How you doing, Ana Soto?
I'm doing good, thank you.
And today, Ana Soto is representing the Mujeres Latina in Accion. And for those who don't know, this is a call-in show, so you call us now at 312-738-1060. Now, the first question we want to ask you is, what is the mission behind Mujeres Latina in Accion?
Okay, the mission of Mujeres Latinas en Acción is providing services that are bilingual, bicultural for Latina women. And we do provide different services, but at the end of our services, we do want to provide them with tools and the skills for them to go ahead and be empowered and be able to make a change in their lives and in their families. And
Awesome. And before we get into Mujeres Latina en Acción, this is Focus on Tomorrow. So for those who don't know, Focus on Tomorrow is a nonprofit organization which is located in Chicago, Illinois. You can find us on the web at www.focus-on-tomorrow.org, or you can email us at info@focus-on-tomorrow.org. Now, so you have a program that's called the Latina Leadership Program that aims to create positive change within the community. Am I right?
Yes, that's correct.
So how does Mujeres Latina Acción identify the need for this program?
So this program came across because our participants were coming into the agency looking for services, seeking services for domestic violence or sexual assault counseling. Okay. And after they graduated from our educational groups / support groups, they found out themselves that they wanted to do a little bit more. They wanted to go ahead and have the skills to be able to make a difference in their lives. So after they actually went through the counseling process, they decided, oh, but I want more. Feel like I can go ahead and make a difference in my life. So we started seeing that the individuals were coming in because they wanted to go ahead and have the tools, not to keep on coming back to us, but more important for them to actually being able to learn how to find different resources within their community and within their organization. So the program came about because of the need of them wanting to become leaders in their community.
Awesome. So how do you recruit participants into the program like this?
So currently we have a Facebook page, which is called Latina Programa de Liderazgo para la Mujer Latina. We do have a webpage where we have information about the program, but the best tool that we have is word of mouth. Okay. Our participants who have been in the program actually go ahead and recruit other participants. They go ahead and say, this program worked really good with me. I love what it is. So they actually go ahead and create awareness about what the program is, and they go ahead and bring their friends, their comadres, and other individuals who they think that will benefit from this program.
So by you saying word of mouth, you said that they actually come to the program. They invite their comadres and their parents and all that stuff, and you actually engage on them about this leadership program.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So coming from the leadership program, you said that especially for Latinos, you said Latinos don't really get a lot of leadership because when they think of leadership, they think of it as like, a politician or somebody who's at a higher level. But my question is, what kind of activities do program participants engage in order to develop their own skills?
So definitely, like I shared with you before, leadership is something that's scary for Latinas out there. Yeah. They think about leadership and they think about somebody who with a powerful status, a politician, but they don't even give themselves the power that they actually have. For example, being leaders at home, right? Getting involved in the children's school. So definitely one of the things that we go ahead and address is, for example, what leadership skills do they have? And we do this in conversation. We definitely go ahead and we define what a leader is. And then that's when I start finding out, oh, wait, I've been doing leadership for all my life. I'm the one that makes the decision at home, but I never gave myself that title. And definitely we talk about different styles of leadership. For example, the leadership who's very independent or very authoritative. This is how things are done, and this is how I expect. There's the leadership who's very motherly. Who's like, no, I'd rather protect my children and let them do all the things independently because I'm taking care of them. So we talk about different styles, and we have them think about themselves. We also have them do a collage, saying, what kind of leader do you see yourself right now? And what kind of leader will you want to become after you complete the training? Okay,
and what kind of answers do you usually get from these participants?
They definitely want to become more assertive. They want to become resourceful. They definitely want to feel empowered, and some of them are very shy. Some of them say, I do not like speaking in public. So that's one of the topics that we actually cover.
Okay, and how exactly do you guys cover that topic?
So we talk about how it's public speaking. It is a very difficult skill to gain, but at the same time, what is the power behind public speaking? So there's persuasive speaking, there's argumentative, there's presentational speaking. So definitely we go ahead and give them the tools, the one-on-one on public speaking, and we go ahead and give them a week to prepare a topic of their choice. They come back the next week and they have to present 2 minutes.
2 minutes of a presentation.
To the rest of their peers.
What topic they're doing specifically, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, are some of these topics really, engaging for some of them?
They sometimes are. For example, they can be controversial topics. Sometimes they feel like, oh, I want to talk about, let's say, reproductive rights.
Right.
I want to talk about parenting. I want to talk about drugs. So they go ahead and pick up their own topic.
Okay, so the Latino leadership participants visit Springfield and work with legislators to advocate for issues they are passionate about, right?
Definitely.
So how does this experience build confidence and leadership skills among the participants, your participants?
Okay, so when it comes to different visits that we could do to go to Springfield, I do go ahead to post to them. I myself can go ahead and petition to our legislators about budget cuts.
Okay.
I go ahead and speak on behalf of you guys. But it makes a big difference when they themselves are the ones talking about their story. So one of the things, for example, that we were highly involved was in driver's license in Illinois.
Okay.
So we gathered participants who were affected in a way or another, either them or their family or relatives. They came around and one of them actually shared with us, I would love for my son to have a driver's license. Because if he had a driver's license, I will be able to get a better job. I will be able to move around the city with no problem. So she went ahead and shared that story with one of the legislators, and definitely coming from a personal story, it creates power. And when they see them, they say like, "Oh, I know I can't approach them." I get very nervous. But once they actually go ahead and visit, like for example, one of the best experience that we had, it was back in the day when Susana Mendoza was still a legislator.
Okay.
Definitely sitting down with her, making them feel so comfortable. And they were, I felt like I was talking to my aunt. I felt like I was talking to my sister. So definitely those kind of experiences they bring back to the other peers. And they say, I went to see Acevedo. I went to see this person. And they welcome me like I was at home.
Wow, that's amazing. So, I mean, considering you guys have all these type of successes with these people, what other success stories have you has your organization experienced by exposing programs, participants to state legislators? Other than that one.
So definitely we try to get involved in rallies. We try to get involved in marches as well. One of the best marches that I've been part of was actually going to Washington, D.C. for immigration reform.
And how was that?
That was a 2-day intense drive we took a bus.
Okay.
We took about 10 participants, and they knew from the very beginning there's not going to be no hotel stay, nothing like that. It was going to be the ride there. We're going to go ahead and march 10 hours and then head back to Chicago. So one particular family it was a grandma, took his daughter and his granddaughter. Right. So the three of them actually were so energized. And at that moment, we were saying no children, just because we knew it was going to be an intense experience.
Right.
But the grandma and the mom said, no, I want to take her because I want her to get involved. So definitely we went there, and it was a beautiful experience because we were reserving in Washington, D.C. like it was home. People were offering us water. People were offering us food. It definitely felt like the whole country came together.
Okay. And how many people actually participate within this march? Everybody from the organization?
Not everybody from the organization. Some participants from our program, definitely. But we did the outreach. It was an intense trip. So definitely families have to think about, we have to think about, okay, if I go myself, where am I going to leave my little ones?
Right.
So it is something that we put it out there, and it was like whoever could make it, they came.
But coming from the march, what was it that you guys were trying to engage on within this march, other than, your specifics that you were saying, but what else was it? What else was it that you guys were really trying to engage within this march?
So definitely we wanted them to understand the civic engagement. We wanted them to understand that it is important to go ahead and be part of these social movements, but at the same time, bringing back their experiences so that we can cultivate a civic engagement movement. Those participants who are eligible to vote, to understand that they have the power to go ahead and make a difference.
Wow. So how does your program curriculum evolve in order to keep up with the fast-changing social landscape of our community?
So one of the things that we definitely go ahead and address is issues. What are issues that are affecting our community? So definitely addressing issues that are in the news and asking our participants, any of you are aware about this? One of the things is that we notice is there's difference between Spanish media and English or mainstream media. Spanish media might be talking about some issues related back to Latin America, not specifically addressing in the city. So we definitely want to go ahead and address, have you heard about budget cuts? Have you heard about this? Bringing it to the group, and then some participants actually are part of some unions, part of, for example, when they were trying to close some schools in the community, they came and they're like, this is happening, what can I do about it?
And what exactly did they do about it?
So definitely trying to get engaged. One of the things is putting out what are their beliefs, and their story. How is this going to affect my family? And I think that's one of the things that we miss out. We think individuals don't get affected, And it is because maybe the information is coming to them. It's like we think changes are happening, but we can't do nothing about it. And definitely we talk about what are the changes you can actually go ahead, and why is it that telling your story is something very powerful, and you want to get it to the right ears.
Okay, so why do you think it's important to have more Hispanic female leaderships within the community?
Definitely, Hispanics are a resource. Hispanics are, and especially Latinas, are the muscle and change, right? We definitely go ahead and hear a lot of politicians who do talk about different issues, but it is the moms who actually are seeing things that affect their homes. And we don't see that as, oh, it's only affecting some individuals. But in reality, they're the ones who actually provide a safety net for each other, support to each other. And some of them hear stories that their comadre or their sister will not say it, but I'll speak up on behalf of you. I'll go ahead and share this story with my other peers.
So it's like basically, yeah. So it's like you guys are giving them the confidence to speak up for themselves.
Definitely.
I mean, that's the whole. That's what exactly we're trying to engage on, because, like you said, a lot of Latina women feel like they don't have that much power within each other. You know, they feel like they don't have the right to say things, or they feel like they don't have the opportunity to do the type of things that they could do, but they're so afraid to do it. You know, and I think that's really great. Exactly how you guys are trying to, engage the women, how make them feel more inspired especially for Latinas.
Yes, and definitely one of the things we want to do is acknowledge their feelings. Sometimes they feel like, oh, but there's no space, and we definitely create a safety space for them to open up about issues. And sometimes they think it's only happening to me, but when they go ahead and discuss it in the group, it's like, no, it's not only happening to me, it's happening to her, and what can we do about it? Because now that we know that it's happening to most of us, let's do something about it.
Awesome. And are there any notable program graduates that you can identify that maybe tell us some of their stories?
Yes. So currently in our program, they have to be engaged in doing a community project.
Okay.
The community project can be any idea they can come up about, which is, for example, pollution. It can be anything that is bothering them or is affecting their community. So one of our participants actually said, you know what, I noticed that a lot of parents don't know about services that are provided for the kids in the summer. Kids in the summer tend to be in the streets. They tend to be just wasting their time and not being productive. At the same time, parents feel overwhelmed because they feel like, I don't know where to take my kids. There's a lot of programs they charge. I don't have the money available. So what she decided to go ahead and implement during the summer was actually start what's it called, a little camp, per se. Right. So what she went ahead and did is she started with her family members. And her family members, as you know, Latinos have very sensitive family members. So she decided to go ahead and say, okay, let's take advantage of the services that Chicago offers for free. For example, music festivals. We do have a lot of neighborhood festivals. Right. So what she went ahead and did is, okay, once a month, we're going to go ahead and plan out an activity for the whole rest of the month. She will go ahead and talk to her family members, sisters, brothers-in-law, and be like, okay, the kids will benefit by going to a cultural fair. Let's go ahead and do something. Let's go ahead and come together, figure out what time that is going to happen, and let's get together and take the kids. After they went to the event, they actually had a discussion circle. So with the kids, they'll be like, what is it that you learn? What value do you learn? The importance of that event. So for example, they went to a music festival downtown in Millennium Park. Mm-hmm. And afterwards, like, okay, we need to eat. And we can either go ahead and eat downtown, or we can go ahead and save the money that we're going to waste in downtown, go home and make a meal all together. So at the end, they went ahead and cooked, right? Well, they could have wasted in downtown close to $100. They went at home, $20, and then they talked about what is it that your parents do to get those $20 and the value that is behind work. So they will have every week they had different activities, but they always had the reflection circle. One time they also went to the Mexican Museum, and they went to a book reading. So the book reading was about immigrating to the United States. Most of the kids, her family kids, were born here. So they didn't know about the struggles that their parents actually encountered. Back when they went home and they had a reflection circle, it's like, I didn't know that abuelito had so much hardship coming to this country. I always thought that we were living here and everybody was so comfortable. So they wanted to learn more about their family history. They went ahead and created a family tree.
Oh, wow.
So that's something that she started with family members. I asked her, what's the biggest activity you did? And she said, I took 18 individuals, including children and adults. And people were surprised in CTA, like, where are you guys going? Why so many of you? That actually CTA went ahead and let them in for free, the kids.
Really?
Yes. So this is something
so
that she wants to
crazy.
go ahead and cultivate and continue doing. So she's going to go ahead and create a resource folder so she can take to her school in the community and say, here, these are the activities that happen here in the city of Chicago for free. you can go ahead and notify the parents about this. But not only that, she's also looking for opportunities for kids to engage in the after school programs, summer program that are offered in the city for free.
So what she did was basically she went to all these events that are going on for free, and she was showing the kids like, yeah, they're free, but they also want to see exactly what they can learn out of it.
Yes,
and which I
definitely.
think was really amazing, because I mean I think especially for the city of Chicago, there's so many types of events that goes on around the city, and we go to them, we participate in them, but yet we don't know exactly what we're learning. Especially me, considering I was a student, a former student, and I would go to all these type of events, and I would go to all types of cool festivals that are going around the city, and I would look at like stuff and like, oh, that's cool. That's really cool, but I would never really get the background of it. I would never get I would never see exactly what I learned from it. So what she did was really, really amazing.
Yes.
I mean, and she's still doing that to this day, right? I mean, how long has she been doing that for?
So she started doing the planning of this in March. So she had all the summer to go ahead and start doing it, and she's continuing to do it. Like, for example, right now in the holidays, she's doing workshops. Workshops are things that she can do, like gifts for the parents.
Okay.
And it's like nothing that you can go ahead and spend. It's recycle items. So now
Really?
she's using this opportunity to go ahead and teach them about the importance of recycling.
Of recycling.
Yes.
Oh wow, I think that's really, really amazing. I mean, and do you get a lot of kids who want to participate within her like program, what she's doing?
She says that she opened it up to family members, but now little friends are hearing about it, so definitely they want to go ahead and come aboard. And I did ask her, well, how big is the group we wanted to get, and she said, if I can manage 18, I definitely go ahead and open to something bigger. So she's in the planning of expanding this a little bit more.
Oh, okay. So do you work with any partners within the community to help promote the need for more Latina leadership?
So definitely when it comes to sitting in different boards or sitting in different organizations or coalitions, definitely we always want to be part of it. For example, within immigration, we try to go ahead and be part of that. And when we think about immigration, there's so many different layers of it. For example, working with those who want to become citizens, those who want to become residents. So we definitely want to go ahead and tailor to different communities. We do partner with other organizations in a way that we can either train their leaders, or they can come to our agency and use the services that we provide in the agency.
Oh, all right. So, considering immigration is a hot topic right now, and lots of people have strong feelings on both sides of the argument, how do the participants of the Latina Leadership Program learn to advocate around such a complicated issue? I'm sorry.
Okay. So currently we have been working in a campaign which is called NAI, New Americans Initiative Program. So what we do is basically go out there in the community and let them know that there is a service for free here in Illinois, which we provide citizen workshops. So our past graduates of the program actually go ahead to the Mexican consulate. They go to school fairs and any fair happening around the city and talk about, we have citizen workshops where you can come in, become a citizen. We can go ahead and fill out your application. We can actually help you get your fee waived. Right now, to become a citizen is almost $700. So there is an application that they can actually go ahead and fill out, and they can go ahead and get the citizen for free. So our participants go out there, provide them information about the coming workshop. But more important than that, they also go ahead and provide them with the questions, citizen questions, so they can go ahead and study. But I think the important is for them to cultivate that. Like, okay, you have the tools. If you're a resident, become a citizen. Because if you become a citizen, you can actually vote and you can have power. And some individuals will say, well, I'm not even a resident. How can I go ahead and follow the next steps? It's like, well, if you have somebody who is a resident, invite them to become a citizen. It takes about 3 times for us to go ahead and talk to an individual to convince them to become a citizen. Becoming a citizen is a very important topic too, but at the same time, some individuals are scared of the citizen process. They feel intimidated. So our participants, our graduates, go ahead and say, you know what, don't be afraid of that. And some of them have actually gone through the process, so they hear from their own story like, oh, I memorized the questions. Don't worry, it's not as intense as you think. So they take so much pride in doing this work. When they hear about a citizen workshop and they say, we actually recruited 20 participants to go to the workshop, they take it like, oh, a success, our story.
Oh wow, I think that's really great, because I mean the fact that you guys give confidence in people like trying to get a citizenship is just a really, really great idea, especially for women. So some people misunderstand the word feminism, all right, as something that is too extreme or too inclusive. So do you teach your students how to overcome the stigma?
Yes, definitely. So when we talk about feminism, we definitely approach it in different ways. Basically, how does leadership is defined, at the same time how gender roles are defined based on your leadership. So we definitely talk about, yes, when you're talking about leadership, who are the key leaders? We often see men. Why? So the society gives them the credit, right?
You're
And
right,
when we think
you're
about women, we're like, well, they take second part, right? Like they're next to the key leader. And definitely one of the things that we address is how as women, we are the ones who actually go ahead and cultivate this kind of change. If we definitely don't like how machismo, which is basically patriarchy, how it plays a role in our development, we definitely have to be providing tools for one another.
Okay.
So when we talk about, okay, what is machismo? And they're like, machismo, and they talk about it like it's such a natural topic. But when we talk about feminism, it's like, I don't like the word. Feminism is for crazy people. It's for those that don't want to don't want to obey the rules. And we're like, okay, so what do you mean by not obeying the rules? And then they definitely get into, well, if you're a good woman, this is how you're supposed to behave. I'm like, who dictates those kind of statements? So definitely, and then we go into, what is it that you would like to do? What is it that's holding you back? So they definitely go ahead and talk about their family. Well, my brother got to go to school and I didn't, because my parents believed that I didn't have to go to school because somebody was going to provide for me. And right now what we're seeing is who's actually getting employed, who's the ones that are keeping their jobs, and it's mostly females. And females are head of household. Females are the ones who are really going out there and making a difference in their families, with their spouses as well, and getting that support. So some of them, I asked them, for example, how many of you have partners who are very supportive of you coming to this kind of program? And they say, yeah, I do. And they're wondering, when are you guys going to start a leadership program for men? And why is it Mujeres Latinas en Accion now? Families in Accion. So definitely to start thinking about that. But we definitely talk about how feminismo, it is such a positive word. It is misunderstood. We think it is men haters out there, but it's not. It's people who actually are working equally. And we try to incorporate this in saying we're partners. It's not about who's better than the other one. It's actually how can we see eye and eye and be partners in making success for each other. So definitely one of the things that we address is gender roles. How gender roles definitely go ahead and create imbalance. And when they see it, oh no, but I can do as much as my counterpart does. When they actually go ahead and we do a game where we basically have different words or adjectives and verbs, and we're like, okay, put them where you think they belong, in the male or the female. And sometimes the group goes ahead and separates them right away. But sometimes they wait, no, all of them go in the middle. So when you actually start seeing them, like, okay, why is it that we think that they all go in the middle? For example, it can be like washing dishes, crying in public, being sensitive. When they go ahead and start seeing it, it's like, no, because we both do it. It's just that one does it in public and one doesn't. So we definitely talk about how a culture plays a role in that, but also systems, how systems play a role in that.
And how you think like do they play a role in that, like with feminism?
So definitely when we see, for example, in the politician role, right? One of the things that we do talk about it is, for example, government. Why is it that elections happen, and who are the runners? Why do we think, for example, Obama versus Mrs. Hill, Mrs. I'm forgetting her name now at the moment. So why is it that sometimes when people are running, we question leaders' more capacity of their leadership instead of their own environment or their own potential based on their family history. For example, with Hillary Clinton, that's something that came up a lot. If she was forgiving her husband or not, but when we're talking about male, that doesn't come up. So definitely, those are the things that we go ahead and pose, and I do ask them how many female presidents have we had, and some of them cannot recall any. I'm like, we do have female presidents in some part of the country. Why is it the United States doesn't have it? And so sometimes they say, oh, I would love to run one day, but I don't know if I can do it. And I'm like, what's stopping you? What's holding you back? So they think about it like nothing. In reality, it's nothing that will hold me back. So definitely seeing opportunities. They do mention to me, for example, when it comes to supervision jobs, who do they give those supervision jobs to? It is males. And for example, we talk about the difference of pay. How men get a $1 and the woman gets 75 cents of that.
Oh, wow.
And then we address how Latina women get 60% of that. So definitely addressing those kind of issues, and they feel angry, but in the same, not angry like they want to go ahead and be bad about it, but they actually like, oh, we need education. If we have education, we can actually go ahead and make a difference.
Right. I mean, honestly, when it comes to feminism, I mean, I think a lot of people are really scared of that word, you know, or maybe sometimes, especially for men. I mean, personally, I feel like they don't know how to answer that question, you know. And I think the way you guys engage in feminism within your program, I think is just, you know, really, really great. And it looks like we have about 1 minute left in the show. Anna, do you have anything else to say? That anyone's interested in, like, if anyone's interested in participating in your program, like, you know, how can they find out more information?
Yes, definitely. If you're a Latina woman and are definitely interested in making a change in your community, this is a program that you can definitely come in. It's a 20-week program. We meet once a week for 2 hours, and we provide childcare for free. So you definitely can come in. It is in Spanish speaking. It is a Spanish speaking program. You can definitely visit our website, www.mujereslatinasEnAccion.org, or you can go ahead and find us on Facebook. Our program is Liderazgo para la Mujer Latina.
Awesome, and I just want to thank you so much, Ana, for, you know, coming to the show and, you know, talking about Mujeres Latina en Accion, because, you know, I just feel like it's a really, really good topic to engage in. And thank you so much. And once again, for those who don't know, Focus on Tomorrow is a nonprofit organization which is located in Chicago, Illinois. You can find us on the web at www.focus-on-tomorrow.org, or you can email us at info@focus-on-tomorrow.org. Once again, I'm Muriel Caballero, and see you next week.